Hey, my creators, what's going on? You already know how I go. It's the Rude Spread, it's Chef Remo. You know what it is. Another edition of Cuts Podcast. You know what the Cuts stand for. Culture, urban technology, and sports. Now, I'm not going to lie to you folks. We definitely got a dope episode today. Definitely got Miss Kitty Rose in the building. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to have her waiting for her to come in. You know, but also, too, this week has been just amazing thus far. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Blue Line, definitely getting great hit ups about Blue Line. Shout outs to the Downtown Newark Film Club. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Terrell Perkins. Shout out to Bam Sutton, Anthony Bam Sutton. They're the directors and writers of the project. You know what I mean? Also, to shout outs to Shanice Rogers, Brian Drummerhauser, Liddy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shamiria Harris. Shout out to Vegas, man. We really worked hard on this project. It's a short film, definitely touching on the latest that's going on with the police brutality and social injustice in America. You know what I mean? We definitely got our screener tomorrow, for sure. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. with Harvard University. It will be online. It will be streamed online. Definitely screen it, and then as well as with a Q&A with the casting directors. You know what I mean? Definitely, you definitely want to catch in with that. Also, two Cuts podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this is the visual, the live visual of the podcast, but also too the audio. Definitely got episode 24 with Dr. Walter Hidalgo of Know Thyself podcast. That definitely was a great conversation. Also, too, Friday, we definitely got Billy Gans of MOP. That conversation was great, too. His episode comes up as well. Definitely look out for it on Spotify, Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio. Shout outs to iHeartRadio, man. Real talk. The podcast just got on iHeartRadio. Shout outs to them, man. And just, overall, man, just blessings on blessings. 2021, yes, some wicked things did happen, but overall, we are still in the second month. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's pivoting. You're pivoting well. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's pivoting. Everybody's doing what they got to do, to make things happen in 2021. We are still waiting for Miss Kitty Rose. Definitely want to talk about her latest project, I Am One. You know what I'm saying? Not I Am One, I Am You. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to talk to her about that. Definitely, what's the greatness with that project, as well as within her career, of what she does as she's a comedian. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, folks. Yes. We have Miss Kitty Rose in the building. What's good? What's shaking, baby? Don't lie. Hey, listen, folks, we got Kitty Rose in the building. Kitty, what is good?
I'm here. That's all.
Oh, all right. So you took the teleportation device finally, and you made it here. You know what I'm saying? What's good? And she has the brand shirt on. I Am You. I just literally said about it. So you might as well just kick on right into it. I Am You.
Yes.
I'm impressed with this project. Definitely, you see the realness we see of you. It definitely sticks to the brand of I Am You. Take us into it. Like, take my creators into this project.
Well, thank you so much for having me on today. Hello, and I'm so glad to be a part of the. So, should I say C.U.T.S. or is it Cuts?
Either one. You can say that. You can say C.U.T.S. You can say culture, urban technology, and sports. That's definitely, you fit that acronym.
I definitely I had to check back to the acronym to make sure that I fit into
it. Listen, you get all the checks are cut. So
So I Am You is a collection of stories that I tell about the last 25, now 26 years of my life, where I'm reflecting on what happened and why it happened, and what allowed it to happen to bring me to where I'm at now. And where I'm at now is a place of acceptance, a place of peace. And I want that for my brothers and sisters. But the only way I think that we can achieve that is to have accountability for ourselves and acceptance. And sometimes we get caught up in the matrix, so we don't really allow ourselves that accountability part because we're so caught up with the distractions, i.e. like what's going on now in the world, you know, and like because of the uproar and the outrage that we as a community are now having about what's going on in the world, that yes, we can be active and we can be, you know, out there doing it, but if we're not taking care of our self-care, if we're not being accountable with ourselves, if we're not fixing what's wrong with us, how much of that work that we're doing in the outside is really, you know, substance. So,
right.
so you know what? I'll make myself the sacrificial lamb, put myself out there, because at the end of the day, I'm you, me. You know what I'm saying? So if you just need me to tell your story out loud so you can let that baggage go, you know what I'm saying? I'll be that one to be your voice, to allow you to hear yourself say it's okay, and then move on, because you've now accepted what happened and you released it, rather than carry it on like the baggage so many of us, you know, have.
Oh, that was such an exceptional start. Oh, look, she's shaking her shoulders. No, but you know, and I'm glad you touched on that, because I'm not gonna lie, as a late, feeling like a backlash, like, you know, going to Clubhouse, like, going to certain rooms. You know, shout out to Clubhouse, but you go into certain rooms and you express your story. And for me, my story of witnessing, you know, Black businesses and Black home ownership in front of my face in Laurelton, Queens, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, you know, from what I'm doing, you know, I don't pay attention to the systematic racism or police brutality or things that's happened against us. But more so, I don't dwell upon to put my mindset to think that it can't happen, because what was in front of me, it wasn't a dream. You know what I'm saying? It was a reality. Yes, granted, the homeowner, the value of the home would decrease because of the racial what's the word, premise or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because there were Black homeowners and the value of the home wouldn't be as high, but still Black people still own it. You know what I'm saying? The businesses were still owned. You know, so it's hard for me to come to a mindset of thinking that we can't get it done. So, you know, based on what you just said and everything like that, I'm glad you're saying that, because I feel more and more of us that speak in that sense, or for that matter, have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? I believe things can go forward even better, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I'm glad you touched on that. Within your career, you are not only a comedian, you're not only a personality, media personality, you're also a minister. So no, listen, I commend you on that. My question to you is, have you felt the backlash? Because, you know, people with religion can be very, very, very right. And with your satire and your content, it's 50-50, right? Per se. So for you, how have you handled the
So before I answer that question, do you hear me clearly? Is there any kind of feedback? Because there's a little bit of feedback on my end.
It's like minor. I turned it down on my end, but
do you think maybe I should put my headphones on? That would help.
Yeah, let's definitely try it out. Yes, definitely.
So yeah, it's minor, but I hear it a little bit, and I didn't know if that was coming from my end, because this is just still all a part of us as creators. So sidebar, I bought a Mac. I finally broke down and freaking bought a Mac, right? Thinking, oh, my world is now perfect, right? And it's hard as fuck to use, right? But I'm on my little PC. She's been holding on for 4 years. You could tell the screen is not that clear. The audio is breaking down. So I just pat her down real nice and like, come on, baby, just come on and hit me up for this.
Yo, this is
as creators on a budget, and when we do get a little bit of money, trying to, you know, get fancy and Like I was getting ready to invest in a red, and then I heard that the fucking battery dies like in an hour. So I was like,
well, it's because it shoots in 4K, so
but it's fucking $5 billion.
Oh my God, yo, this is like arguably like probably one of my most authentic episodes. Right now. Oh no, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, so then how would?
So you know what? Nah, don't worry about it. We could just do it.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there has been backlash, and the main reason why there has been backlash is because I cuss and I smoke weed. So
Right.
that is so that I see your face.
No. Listen,
so folks is like, well, how can you be a preacher? How can you be a minister? And you sitting there while you doing your testimonies and you be smoking a joint or you be cussing. And the first thing I say is because I teach the mercy and grace of the Most High. I don't teach perfection. And at the end of the day, I don't teach judgment because I'm learning not to judge myself. Then your judgment doesn't matter to me. And that's where the backlash comes back to them, because who really now are you judging? Are you deflecting off of me because you see me smoking and cussing? Because is the message still not relevant? Is it still not something that can resonate with you to make you move, to make you heal, to make you feel a kind of way? Does it provoke some type of feeling from you? Or are you just wanting to block and deafen your ears because you see me with a joint or you see me cussing? So where's the problem really at? So when I've learned that the problem ain't me, the problem is then they weren't ready for the message. So when the backlash comes, like Christ said, I dust that shit off my shoulders because I'm just here as a messenger. That's all ministers are here. That's all preachers. We are not perfect. We are God-like, just like you, just like her, just like I am you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no extra clout because I'm a minister. All I have is a job. You know what I'm saying? A responsibility. My purpose is my ministry. But what the fuck? Does that not make me feel imperfect?
No, listen, and I'm glad you're talking on that because, like I said, just with me, I'm still, catching up on my spirituality. Like I recently tapped in, like around late third quarter last year. You know what I'm saying? And right, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a blessing ever since. You know what I'm saying? Going back to church, reading the word. You know what I'm saying? And still working on it. So I'm still a work in progress. But I'm glad you're touching on that because I feel within the society today, it's just been a lot of formalities put upon people. Like these weird formalities. Like, and then God forbid, if you challenge the formality, or for that matter, you rebuttal against it, now the goal gets moved. The goalpost gets moved. It's like, oh well, you're supposed to be preaching of the Lord, but because you curse, then you're not doing it, and all this back. And for me, it's kind of insane. It's like, okay, when are we going to stop with the formalities in this society?
Because that's part of the order and the distractions. They need to. The devil needs to have that stuff going on. That's why, rather than get so involved in the scriptures and whether it's true or whether it's false or who wrote the Bible, look at it for what it's worth. And for what it's worth as a guide to teach us, to give us examples, to give us possible stories. The same way that rappers do nowadays as lyricists and tell a story and use metaphors is the same way that these 40 regular men who didn't proclaim to be anything but what their job was, get some type of spiritual calling, get some type of spiritual voice to move them to give words to put on a paper to give us lessons. Because the lessons that we do learn, when we talk about Christ, we learn that Christ was with the hoes, and you know what I'm saying? Like Christ wasn't. When he went to the synagogue, the temples, he fucking threw the shit up. Like You got to think about why those examples are given to us, because it's not about this uniform that we're supposed to wear, and this, because I believe in God, because I serve God, then I can only dress up in my Sunday best and go to church. When our praise and recognition and worship should be every day. And that's what the examples that Christ was trying to bring it to us. Everyday situations, everyday people, the people. And if you amongst the people, then you have to be amongst the people. And I'm not po, P-O, but I'm poor, P-O-O-R. So I can hang around my other poor people and give a message of hope and peace. And I think that's what serving Jehovah, serving God, serving, Christ, that's what it does for you. It gives you a level of peace, because now you can become at peace with yourself in understanding what's happening and why it's happening.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you really touched on that. That is like super, super duper amazing. In your career, like in your trials and tribulations, like how did you turn the negatives into positives, and as well as how are you maintaining them? Take my creatives into I know, right?
I don't think at the time I turned it into a positive. I think that's what's key to understand. I think, when we say that there's levels to this, there's levels even in your emotions as you're learning who you are as a creator, who you are as an artist, who you are as a business. And that's what becomes tricky. We can create and we can be creators, but we don't always learn how to turn it into a business and then be a business person along with being a creator. So in learning those skills, you learn to not take things personal. So I think over the years, I've learned, like I've read all the books everybody else, has read, The Art of War, The Philistine, Rich Man, Poor Man, all those. And I think what happens is after you read them, it's still like when you're teaching your children, it's just a seed being planted. And until you're actually in situations when you can now recall what you read, then it can begin to make sense. So as I've been in business now since 2006, I left corporate in 2003. So I've crossed that 10-year mark. I've crossed that, that mark of realizing that everything's not personal. Most things aren't personal. I've learned that consistency is key. I've learned that, patience is key, that this is not for the weary at heart. Like you can be a creator, but if you're not about your business, then you could just create all day, every day. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've learned to be accepting of where I'm at and what roles and what hats I need to play. If I wanted to create, be a creator. But fortunately, I'm a businesswoman. So I had to learn how to put that hat on. And in business, very little things are personal. So you can't get your feelings hurt because you realize that it's not about you. And then because in my journey now becoming a teacher, I had to have certain experiences so that as a teacher, I can use that testimony to show that it happened to me, real life. And this is going to happen to you. And you have to be able to know that you can maintain or not. And if you can't, you could be okay with that. This is not for everybody. And everybody should be okay with that. You could be a creator, but I'll give you an example. My daughter is a creator, but let me tell you, she wants to be a worker. She said that entrepreneur life is for you and for the birds. I want a regular check every week. She already know at 17 what she want, what she don't want. You know what I'm saying? And that's the place of coming to an acceptance of the ridicule or the ups and downs. It's just being in a place that you accept where you at. So that's going to come with it. So if you can accept where you at, if I'm going to accept that I'm in this role, that this is where that I am not one of those people that's set up to work for someone, then I have to be prepared in the journey to prepare myself. There's all that's going to come with it. And you know what? Bad, with all the good, there's going to be some bad shit. And at the end of the day, I need the bad shit because I can't have everybody sucking my dick. There's no backup. I need fucking haters.
Yo, this is like the realest right now. Yo, my creatives, Listen, I bring you the talent. I bring you people that are going to speak the real. You know what I'm saying? I know the host, how the host gives it up and stuff like that. Now that's what's up. Definitely. Let's go into what's going to be for Kitty Rose in 2021. We pivoted in 2020. We went through the nonsense. I'm pretty sure you spoke the real as much as everybody else did in 2020. So you don't have to speak the real in 2021 now. I mean, not to be fake, but you spoke the real. So what is the aim focus in 2021 for Kitty Rose?
I want the world to open back up.
Listen, well, it kind of is. I mean, if you had a Valentine's Day, you can go in the restaurants and eat. That's happened.
Let's talk about Valentine's Day right now. It's only Tuesday. I'm still sensitive about what did not happen for me on Valentine's Day.
Damn.
What I'm looking for 2021. One, I'm looking to navigate in this virtual world because that's just what it is right now. I don't really engage a lot, so I'm looking to, be more comfortable with what it is, with the matrix, and learn how to be engaging in a peaceful place. When I first got in the matrix and started developing this following, I was going through a lot of personal shit with my kids, with my work, and people like drama. So I was getting massive followers because I was online ranting and raving and switching my head and cussing and all kinds of shit. But now that I'm at Zen and I'm at peace, people don't follow me as much. But I also don't engage because I'm at peace. I'm at Zen. My daughter said, "Don't nobody want to talk to no happy minister." So it's like,
Hold on, and let's segue off that. Isn't that kind of crazy now in this society? Like principle, morale, respect, being happy, being positive. That doesn't mean nothing. But ratchet, negative, be a scumbag. Oh, get Gorilla Glue, glue in your hair, everything gets you the bag.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, for 2021, knowing that is the world that we live in, and I'm trying to fight that all these years because I'm not gonna fall into the matrix. I don't care what they're doing, but my business is being affected. They're not opening up Broadway until possibly next year. If they open up this year, they're not opening them until the end of the year. So that means that my live performances may not happen off Broadway. I'm looking at some restaurants who want to do some dinner theater type of performances, but we still have a amount of people that as many people go out, there's still people who are not going out. So I can have a performance, but does that mean anyone's going to come out? So I really have to go where people are at, which is at home. And I really want to get into the college spectrum. I want to start talking to more young people. So I love the audience that I've been able to build over the last 10, 15 years. But the audience I've built is people that look like me, people that look like you, our age group, the folks that's about change, that's ready to have those conversations and make action. But we're all good and it's great for us to know each other, but we really need to get to the youth and start organizing them. And I'm not saying that they're not, but again, being distracted, our youth are being organized when it comes to politics, which is great. Our youth are being organized when it comes to their money, which is great. Our youth are being organized when it comes to their business, which is great. But we're still not dealing with their personal shit. My son, and he's gonna hate this, and hopefully no one's listening that's in his grip. My son had a situation in May that he needs therapy. And not a bad thing that he needs therapy. Now, this was May. Now, since May, he's graduated college, so he got his degree. He's moved into an apartment on 87th and Lexington on his own with no credit or money from his parents. He's gotten himself a job. He's gotten himself his scholarship, his fellowship for the next 3 years to get his master's. He's in a relationship. He's loved by friends and family. But have we got a therapist yet? And it's February. No. But you need a fucking therapist because you did some serious shit in May. And even though you have done accomplishment, it's about your business. It's about your money. It's not the personal stuff that still needs to work. And if you don't deal with the personal stuff, how about you gonna fuck up your money? You're gonna fuck up your job. You're gonna fuck up your relationship. So I want to get for 2021, I want to get to our fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, fresh, that 18 to 22. I want to get into some of those town halls, some of those student unions, some of those virtual chat rooms, and start really, talking to my next generation of young people to let them know that everything they're getting ready to come into is okay. What's not okay is the baggage you're going to have, because we just do. We carry our weight because we don't get a chance to talk about it and dissect it. So since we don't get a chance to dissect it and understand it, we just shove it underneath the rug. But guess what? It don't go nowhere. It might just come back 5, 10, 15, 20 years later. Or how about it might come back through your kids? Because you can deal with that shit. So now it comes through your children.
Ooh, you was deep there. I ain't gonna lie, you was deep there, sister. And then we gotta get to this last question here. And always on cut, when I bring people on, they talk about what was that top 3 advice or motivational quotes for you, Kitty Rose. Right now, this is your chance to talk to my creatives. What is your top 3 advice or quotes?
Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it, y'all. Don't take it fucking personal.
Right.
Because it ain't about you.
Right.
And keep that shit simple. Keep it simple. The more you give, the more you do, the more you add, it goes on deaf ears. Keep that shit simple and to the point. You get a lot of even though I'm bored shit.
Kitty, this Kitty Rose, oh my God, this episode was amazing. Thank you for being on. But please, we all should know to follow you and follow your show. I you, but where should we all and my creators follow you at?
You guys can follow me on every social media platform at Ms. Kitty Rose 1. MSKITTR. Wait, what? I'm sorry. MIM.
Oh. Read back. All right, here we go. Take 2.
MKITTYROSE, the number 1, all one word. Miss Kitty Rose 1, the Kitty Rose Lifestyle, Minister Cat, I am you. Google me, like Tiana says. Google me. You'll find me because I've done the work, because I've been consistent.
Mm-hmm. You heard that, my creatives. Pivoting and consistency and realness at the end of the day. My creatives, you know what the how go. This is another edition CUTS podcast. You know what the CUTS stand for. Culture, urban, technology, and sports. You know my end slogan, my creatives. Calm that chest. Come on, man. You know what it is, son. All right, now.